Hi everybody, I'm Josh.
I'm Rutskarn.
And
why did we decide to go back to this shitty
that's a weird...
What? No, hang on.
Yeah.
Back the fucking truck up. Alright. Hi everybody. Welcome back to Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah. Last time we did a side quest stream, the second, where we spent like 4 hours doing fucking everything. I don't know. We helped a noble save his house from robots, I guess, but then it turned out he was stupid and evil and got eaten by his own birds. And then I think we helped some people get over the loss of their loved ones in the Red Raids or something. And then I think maybe we killed a bunch of bandits with nil, although I might be misremembering. And then we did like... So all the hunting ground quests, we did a cauldron, we did some other side quests where the capitalists turned out to be good, actually, and then we rescued someone from slavery or something and got killed in the process, I think. It's all really a blur.
Yeah. And meanwhile, while we're doing the side quest stream, everybody's just posting into the comment section over and over again, where's Rutskarn? Why isn't Rutskarn in this? Why is Ruts not here? Ruts needs to be here.
Yes.
I require Rutskarn's presence. So, we thought we'd go a little extra mile and make it up to you by making me extremely here.
Yep. Rutskarn is at my house, sitting next to me, holding a knife.
Yep. I know what you guys are thinking. I brought my own.
Yep.
But the good news is, I can reach over and physically interfere with Josh at any moment.
Excellent.
In the middle of a combat. Because I want to prevent him from pressing the button that will destroy all of your computers. Okay. Because I want to.
It'll go quickly for you if you...
Really, the reasons abound.
Is that a tabletop appropriate, not a malapropism, but a propism?
The lighting just completely changed.
What is an apropism?
I don't know. Malapropism is when it's like the wrong name.
But, no, what is the designation that you're referring to?
Oh, a combat. Like that's I've never heard it referred to that way.
Power serves us.
Machine demons from beneath the ground.
So, we are gonna mainline the main quest now, finally. Get around to that, now that, Aaron's quest is out of the way.
Yep.
Finally catching up with Olin. Remember this guy? This guy is the traitor.
Isn't Aaron's quest a required part of the game? Or am I crazy?
Actually, no.
Really? Okay.
At least I don't think it is. It might be.
So what happens if you don't eat dirt?
He doesn't show up for the end battle, I guess? I don't know.
I'm actually kind of... Okay, so I know this is weird, and I know that this game is really beloved, and like it's the consistency of his lore is actually one thing that a lot of people have pointed out, but I have to say that just as an outside observer, I'm starting to really wonder if we absolutely had to eat dirt.
Well, Duval said you gotta.
He did say that. But is he an unreliable character? I mean, does he have information that we don't have?
Technically, Derval didn't actually say that.
That's true.
The guy with the gun that's not as good as the gun that I had, and then I shot him, said it.
You know what? I'm gonna check the wiki.
Oh, hey. So here we go. This fun character.
While you're there, check and see if Derval's first name is Robert.
I can see the subtitles.
Yeah.
Robert Derval.
I thought it was a cute joke.
Bobby
it is
Derval.
A cute joke. It's very cute. I'm actually just looking up what Robert Duvall is in because I recognize the name but can't put my finger on any roles.
Really? Oh, I'm old.
Oh, good. It's getting very dark.
He's the guy who looks a little bit like... He's the guy where if they make the movie anytime soon, he's definitely going to play Rudy Giuliani.
Oh, God, you're right.
Great.
Excellent casting. Don't tell me you're not already casting the 2016 to God knows when film in your head.
So I think those things are just running around like a horse race, so we can just extremely conspicuously put up these tripwires.
Yep. And they're just like, oh my, he's just walking around it? No.
Oh, he's confused. Oh, there we go. All right.
Well, we'll call that a win. I mean, you know, tripwires.
Oh, this is all together. I can't tell what's happening on screen, can you?
Absolutely not. I
The
never know
opening
what's happening
credits
on
for
screen.
Terminator 2.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Well, that's not what I wanted.
It's funny because so I did not want to introduce a audio splitter into the nightmarish Frankenstein that Josh is currently sitting in the bosom of. So currently, my only cues for what's going on are number 1, the subtitles, and number 2, the occasional little dinky noises from his controller speakers going.
Oh, I'm yeah, it's just a whole bunch of explosions right now. You're not missing too much. Where did that
Well,
corruptor go?
you know, I appreciate the closed captioning, Joshua.
Do you mind? Critical hit. Oh, there's a guy in the bushes there. Well, that
No,
guy's...
you killed a bush.
So,
All right.
What?
Yes.
I'm trying to piece together what's even going on. Because I'm seeing everything you're seeing, but I'm seeing it with stream blurriness, which makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Actually, we should...
It's not entirely clear in full definition, to be totally honest with you.
Well, it doesn't help that I've gotten used to Assassin's Creed Odyssey's control scheme again, and
That
on
game has a
one, dodge
weird
is
control
square.
setup.
Yeah. Like, it works just fine when you get used to it, but...
Like,
did that not...
having RB as your main melee attack is just bizarre.
Can I
Well,
say?
that's Dark Souls.
Can I say it's a little bit weird that audio has become such a ubiquitous part of our lives, and particularly like streaming to one another, sharing with one another with phones, with webcams, across the internet. And yet the actual business of ensuring that the correct audio reaches the correct ears remains like a gambit for anything but the most straightforward applications.
Yeah.
This setup, and every time we have to alter it for some kind of outside circumstance, really brings that to mind. Like, you know, like Chris is hearing the game audio, but if we were less savvy, he could very easily be hearing our audio, but like at a delay, as opposed to like the audio he's getting through his headphones through the Ventrilo, which would be happening more snappily. You know, I'm sitting here with my headphones on, listening to a computer where Josh is muted in the vent channel and Chris is coming through. Which I accidentally muted at one point and threw the whole system back out of whack.
I know you will.
But I don't hear the game audio.
Ayla looks a little awkward right now.
A little bit. She kind of looks like she's about to, like, stab him.
I mean, she is.
Oh, right.
So do we ask
yes,
about
okay, fair enough.
the killers or the mysterious woman?
I don't know. This feels like one of those artificial choices.
It is.
Alright, fuck it.
Mysterious
sent
woman.
to kill me because I look like another
Okay.
woman. Older, maybe twice my age, short hair. Who is she?
I don't know. My focus found her image once in the ruins at Maker's End. Maybe you can find her there.
You
I
found her
recognize
image in
this
the
guy.
ruins? How?
There was a door.
I mean,
We
we've
said
seen
that
it
last
before.
time.
Kind of ancient device that
Yeah.
contained the
No,
world's
I
edge.
recognize him, not the
My
actor.
focus
Like,
recorded
I put the
location.
NPC, like, this is Barterman.
Okay,
Is
right,
she your
yeah.
mother?
I'm
Sorry.
the one asking questions. The killers who came for me at the Proving. Who are they?
And I will say that not every NPC in this game leaves a very strong impression.
Yeah.
Of the Shadow Carja.
Shadow Karja.
Except
just
they're
wait
not
until
like
you
any
see
Carja
the-
I've known.
one of the main
They don't
villains.
pray to the sun.
Yeah,
They
to be honest
worship
with you, I
something
think the
from
only
death.
reason it stuck out was because he has a focus, and I remember that plot point.
Oh, it's not.
Yep.
Not his glorious rug of chest hair.
Their devil is real. It has a name. a
That was the
voice,
other thing.
The most terrible voice.
And the fact that he
And
looks
they do
exactly
its
like a
bidding.
character on Black Sails.
And there was that bit where, oh, this is probably what Reginald Cuthbert would look like in this setting.
A little bit.
You say this devil, the
We would not be
eclipse worship, has a
expositing
name?
here on our ass,
Hades.
waiting to
No.
die like a punk.
Hades. And you've heard it speak?
We go out in a
Spoke to my
blaze of
soul.
glory,
I heard.
an entire
Just
cheesesteak
once,
hanging
and
out of our
so-
mouth.
Such a voice. A cold, awful jangle. It scrapes
Okay.
your bones. It hollows your guts. A metal sound, but like nothing dug from the earth or smelted in a forge.
I want to make like an American advertising joke here.
Just 3 words.
Cold, awful jingle that
But in the voice of
hollows out your bones, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head that would be really good for that, so Instead, I'm going to
It said
explain
3 words.
this joke.
I'm loving it.
There we go.
I thought they wanted them for scrap, but they brought them back to life.
Is that even what
Plugged
McDonald's
some kind
slogan
of
is
device
anymore?
into the corpses
I don't think
so.
so.
That Hades could whisper to them and call them from their grave.
In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not.
Are there others?
Yes, the ones you fought today they called corruptors, but there are others, much bigger.
It's currently, I'm loving it.
Is it?
Those
Yeah.
they call Deathbringers. I've only seen them buried in the ground.
Remember in the 90s when like everybody could advertise and you had advertisements for like bubble
Sounds
gum?
to me like they're raising an army.
Yeah.
If so,
You don't really see
I
that
actually do
anymore.
remember that.
the world will
No, you don't. And
I
is actually getting to the point where we see ads for advertisements for certain things,
What are
you're
these
kind of like,
eclipse
this thing must be a
cultists after
scam.
besides me?
Yeah, because how else would they afford it?
Given the Carja Civil War,
Yeah.
they must want to overthrow
Do you remember like the
some of and take
90s
the
commercials
back.
for like Fruit Roll-Ups and
What do I have to
Gushers
do
and
with
stuff? And they had like
I don't know.
You
kids
realize I do
turning into
literally
bad
watch.
CGI.
Tall,
I
strong,
literally watch
bright
the
eyes.
80s commercial vault on YouTube, so yes, I am very familiar with all of those commercials.
Yeah.
Stacker of corpses.
You said you'd called them yesterday.
He was the Mad Sun King's champion. If only he'd died with his king. But now he leads. the
So
Eclipse.
this is the actually the main villain I was talking about, or
He's the
one of them,
most dangerous man alive.
who has one of the most boring faces in this game,
How
in
did
my
the
opinion.
eclipse reverse you?
But is
I
voiced
know
by
they took your family hostage, but
Crispin
why
Freeman,
you?
so
Yeah.
immediately recognizable.
All right, I got a question for you. So, taking this scene not as a video game scene, like if you were to translate this to another medium, to a film or a television show, for example, it would at some point grow awkward and preposterous that he was still on his ass in the dirt and you were still standing over him pointing a spear at his chest. So my question is this:
I didn't laugh at
would it make the scene less awkward in the video game if at some point there's like transition where like you're like helping him up but kind of guarded, sitting him down, walking around him, you know, keeping an eye on him. You know, occasionally he like tries to turn towards you, but you threaten him. You know, where there's all that blocking which you would expect to keep a scene fresh and visual medium. Or would that be too distracting? Where it's like kind of the content of the conversation is what matters here, and the like camera A, camera B, camera A, camera B like setup is just sort of allows you to engross yourself in it.
Well, there's also the
Okay.
problem that at the end of this is you get to decide whether or not you're going to kill him.
Right.
So,
Well,
like,
that's-
I think the real problem is that there's like altogether way too much exposition in this particular scene.
It's time to finish
That's what I was going to
Like,
say.
this
Is
should
it's
be
an
like
exposition dump.
10 sentences at most.
Yeah.
If there's any mercy,
It's an exposition dump. Right.
free my family. Please.
Where would I find
So is your point then that this scene would just not happen in a game, something other than a video game? Perhaps even a video game that didn't have a great grasp on the scene.
I could see this scene happening in a book.
Okay.
I can see this scene happening in a movie, but it's cut down to maybe 10 sentences where you name drop the main villain, make it clear he's the main villain, and then move on. And then she stabs him, and there's no player choice of either what to talk about or whether to save him. It's just a very well established shot. Maybe she stabs him in the knee to make him drop the name of the guy she's trying to get. Like,
Yeah.
it needs to be dynamic. The problem is it's her standing over him with a knife for 20 minutes while he exposits about this badass guy you're eventually going to go kill.
Right, which I think we can all agree, even in this context, is not engaging.
So we've got a moral choice here. Let him live, kill him, or I don't know what this one does.
Yeah. This is complicated. Let's see what it does.
All this time I tracked you down. I thought this decision would be simple.
We're gonna pull him,
It's not.
pull him for his opinion, on whether you should gut him or not.
Your role in events was coerced. Perhaps you're not an evil man, just a weak one.
I am. The only strength I ever
All
found in this
right.
life
Yeah, just let him
was my
go.
family.
Death is what you've earned. And yet,
Death was what you earned, and yet stab.
You shouldn't hesitate.
I knew he was gonna say that.
Okay, so that was just a straight up, like, this doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
All right.
it will take many good deeds to make up for the crimes
That's
you
neat.
committed.
Yeah.
You're sparing me? After all I've done?
Yes. Forge a new life, Owen.
For a second, it was framed as though he was about to pick up a rock and hit you in the head or something.
My life.
After all this.
That'd be absolutely
I'm
amazing.
the evil one.
It'd be really amazing if that happened and like your character's stunned and like straightens up. And by the time you have, he's gone forever.
But I will
And then he turns into the Riddler and just starts leaving Riddler trophies everywhere.
be waiting for you.
Yep.
that would still be better than the
Look at
justification.
that swagger that he had. It's just like walking away like, this is awkward. I really want to be out of sight as soon as possible.
So, we got a skill point from that and from leveling, so that's neat. I don't know if we want to do anything with this, though. Don't care about any of those.
I feel like we're ready for the end game at this point.
We kind of are. We're level 34, which is like, I believe the max level before the DLC came out was 50, so yeah. We have a lot of endgame equipment. Well, look at these weapons. Yeah. I think, can you switch off the light switch? For
Yeah,
it's,
sure,
it's over there. There's a light in my room that's not normally on that's putting, glare on the screen, which is making it difficult to tell what's going on in this game where it's already kind of difficult to tell what's going on half the time. What?
Well, all I can say is it's a good thing I'm here, Josh.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So what are we doing now?
We're going to Maker's End.
Not Maker's Mark.
No, we are not going to get to tour the Maker's Mark facility and at the end dip.
But they put the wax on the bottles. It's really cool.
That's something like I'd love to go do that, except I don't like Maker's Mark.
I just want to buy some wax and like dip random bottles in it because it's cool.
I mean, I feel like you could do that pretty
Concept
easily.
of differentiating bourbon whiskeys as of yet beyond me.
Yeah, I realize I'm the only person here who drinks spirits at all, so...
I do drink spirits.
Oh, okay.
I do drink spirits.
Chris is a boring person.
When it comes to certain kinds of spirits, I am non-discriminating. Yeah, no, okay, so to check in with the all-important Rutskarn consumes alcohol question, since the last polled several years ago, there's a chain of events wherein I began an office job, decided confrontationally and aggressively consuming black coffee, and effectively broke my taste buds to the point where I can drink beers like a man would. And so I do that now on occasion. And honestly, for my money, beer is the most difficult thing to like get down you compared to like spirits. Easier.
No.
Because beer is just so bitter.
Yeah, but beer is delicious. Spirits, all I can taste is the alcohol. It tastes like drinking mouthwash.
Yeah, that's great.
Believe it or not, I actually find alcohol more palatable than hops.
Yeah, alcohol is... I can't do it. I can't.
I have an appreciation for beer. I think we can all agree on some level that it's a bit like drinking distilled potpourri.
I like bitter stuff, so hops don't bother me all that much, although I will admit that it took me a while to get to the point where I was like, yeah, I can drink a beer and like it. As opposed to, like, just, you know, drinking a beer because someone offered it to you at their house and it would be rude to say no.
I feel like you're going the wrong way here.
Yeah, it might be time to abandon the mount. I've also forgotten how to dismount in this game because, again, the controls are different.
It seemed very much like you were about to Skyrim this rock.
Yeah, well, the horses don't Skyrim very well in this game, so... You can Skyrim them just fine by just mashing jump all the time, but...
Yep.
Anyway, Mystery Guy showed up again and said that the name of the woman that Aloy looks like is Elizabeth Sobek, which will be important briefly.
Mm-hmm. Is
this the climbing one?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, is it?
Okay. I hate this level.
But first we have to fight a Deathbringer.
Like, this is like one of the most important story beats, but it's also precluded by one of the most awful...
I think the platforming is pretty nice. I think the error they made was adding 2 paths, so my fucking OCD ass is like running around trying to find everything in the level and just doing them twice.
It would be not a bad selection. I'll put those to use. Why are you doing this?
So once again, it's nighttime. Why are there floodlights in space? What is going on?
For a moment, I had a genuine panic that at some point it was disclosed that this game is taking place in space and I'd missed it. I suppose it is.
This is Other Earth. The Other Earth that had the horrible environmental apocalypse.
Well, get right down to it. Don't all games take place in space?
Eclipse. Just like
Does Planescape take place in space?
What game does not take place in space, Chris? Give me an example.
cooperating.
Let
Happy family.
me think. I'm sure I can think of something. Some game that gives me a technical out. Like Tetris. Does Tetris take place in space?
You know what? You have an excellent point. I'll grant
It's an
you.
abstract-
Tetris takes place in... Yeah, because Tetris takes place in Russia, which is not in space. Okay,
Yes.
you got a
But no, it doesn't take place in
Cosmonauts,
Russia.
so not real.
Doesn't it? I thought that's why it was called Tetris.
No. It's called Tetris because Tetrominoes. The people insist on
let me
calling
check the-
Tetrins, and I'm upset about that.
Hang on a second.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna... Don't worry, I'm gonna fact check this. Let me check the Tetris wiki.
Is this a man? Are you a man? Hello? Yep, you're dying.
Tetris is a tile-batching puzzle video game originally designed and programmed by Russian game designer Alexei Pajitnov. The first playable version was completed on June 6th, 1984, while I was working for the Dorotznitzian Computing Center of the Academy of Science of the Soviet Union in Moscow. It takes place in space.
It doesn't
don't
say
know.
that.
It's pretty ambiguous. It will in a second.
Well, that's not what we wanted. Hey. No.
No!
Alright, we'll just do it this way.
Is he humping that house?
What? Yes. That is
What about,
what is happening on screen right now.
What about fictional lands that don't necessarily exist in a traditional space, like Battle for Middle Earth?
That's why
or
I brought
whatever?
up Planescape.
Oh, good point, Chris. Planescape may not take place in space. But yeah, Battle for Middle Earth also. Yeah.
Actually, I'm pretty sure by Middle-earth cosmology that at least by the Third Age, Middle-earth does in fact take place in space.
So is there like a space Middle Earth? Like, okay, setting aside my far overplayed joke, is there some kind of fan universe which extrapolates Middle Earth into the space age?
Looks good.
There should be.
I once read a novel that was written by a Russian guy that reimagined Middle Earth as basically the orcs as industrialists and the elves as an agrarian civilization that wanted to fight back against the orcs to prevent them from gaining a technological upper hand, and that they were actually the aggressors.
I'm aware of what you're talking about.
But that's not really space, no.
It's actually kind of shocking, given the preponderance of like alternate universe takes, that they're not more prominent like sci-fi Middle Earth expansions.
I mean, it's kind of what Warhammer did, right? Warhammer jumped straight to space after so long.
It's
As...
kind of like
Yeah,
cargo cult Middle Earth, I guess.
it's a decent point. But 40K actually had to shed a lot of its explicitly fantastical baggage to become successful.
Is there...
Like, the more popular Warhammer 40K got, the more explicitly it divorced itself from like, traditional fantasy. Like, they removed dwarves, for example.
For the longest time, I thought that Warhammer 40k and Warhammer Normal took place in the same universe at different times.
You'd think, wouldn't you? But no. No,
I think that would be neater than what it is, where Warhammer 40k is just like something completely different.
It would be.
And is basically like Mech Warrior, but more explicitly fascist, basically.
in my experience, you absolutely do not have to be fascist to enjoy Warhammer 40k, but it is the war game universe of choice.
Well, it is. It's kind of like Starship Troopers, right? Where like it's the Imperium Man is supposed to be a parody of fascism, not actually like, hey, cool fascism.
Yes, but it appeals to us. Okay,
unfortunately,
so, yes, the text of the universe. It's very easy to make the statement that this is an attempt to show the horrors of despotic, theocratic societies. But the practical reality of how it is fandom followed, and that the bad fandom is pretty much ideal for those who hold up fascist ideals in real life, because most fascists do not ultimately see short-term fascist societies as, or do not want to see them as fun things, or like happy things. They might see like the end goal as something happy, but they actually kind of like the idea that they have to get dirty, they have to get nasty, and that like, you know, hey, it's rough stuff, but it's war. Like that pretty much directly appeals to the fantasy of like an actual like extreme right wing activists. So 40k is not dissuading them. Whether or not I'm not saying that it's deliberately encouraging them, and I would even go so far as to say that like probably a lot of the writers and staff are not down with this interpretation, but that's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah. Come here, you.